feel like you missed your drop there, Mike.
I did. It's okay. Hey, everybody. Wessel's an asshole.
What? I'm an asshole. First of all, I will show
No.
these text messages you sent me from yesterday.
Okay, we don't need
buddy.
to do that.
Well, I know we're gonna do that. We're doing that right now.
You got dick pics?
We don't.
We're doing it.
No, none of those. But yeah, this is
We're
not
doing it.
nice.
We're doing it. So you see, like this little string of text messages I have from this asshole.
Yeah. You can read them if you want.
What do they say?
He texted me and said, "Guy came in the store with a Killers shirt on today."
Great band, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Love the Killers.
And then he said, "Absolute fucking dork," but complimented the shirt. He said, "We love Killers fans, even though he was a loser." I said, "What an asshole!"
That did happen. But hey, we're here, Darlington. It happened. Seemed like the playoff Southern 500 bug struck a fair few amount of drivers again. I'm not sure how, but every time it seems like we come to the Southern 500 in the playoffs, people lose their minds, make crazy mistakes, and it seems like it really shows that the pressure's on. Not only is it a playoff race, but it is a crown jewel race. Kyle Larson wins. Didn't really have the fastest car, but kind of fell into the lead towards the end of the race and held it the entire last 50-ish laps, 40 laps, more
50.
like. Yeah. Larson holds on, picks up the win. Denny Hamlin really seemed like the most dominant car during the race, but unfortunately for him, no proof of it, but he believed there was a loose wheel, and I think you got to trust Denny Hamlin if he says that. Won both stages, or did he win?
Both.
Yeah, he won both stages. Looked to be the best.
And the wheel wasn't even loose, was it? I don't think it was.
They
loose.
don't know. I don't think it was on
They
there
don't
long
know.
enough to show it, but something was going on. Whether it was a loose wheel or a slow leak or something, he was not up to speed. So
yeah. So that happened. So he lost the race because of that. Then Tyler Reddick takes the lead, and Kevin Harvick chases him down from second. Towards the end of that race, looked like it was going in Kevin Harvick's direction, but when Harvick decides to pit, Tyler Reddick tries to go with him, goes a little too late, and Ryan Newman spins out as a result. Now, we're not going to really talk about this yet. I think we're just going to go straight in to my favorite segment on this show. Let's start off. Let me get the music going first. Is it this one? Yeah.
Tegan's hack. I mean, doofus. Sorry.
match two dudes.
No, it's time for Tegan's Boneheads.
Okay,
Hacks. Oh,
Biggest-
sorry, boneheads.
biggest bonehead is Tyler Reddick. I mean, this motherfucker. I don't understand. I really don't. It kind of. I never felt sick over a race in the 20 years that I had watched NASCAR till that night. It pissed me off so bad that it made me sick. Motherfucker tries to pit and him already halfway around the fucking racetrack. So this short motherfucking midget ass bitch.
Whoa!
Oh, come on!
I didn't call him anything else. I called him a short bitch, midget. Midget's a general term anymore. Hell, I'm considered midget because I'm not 5'10", so he's just a smaller midget than me. He's a fucking dumbass. Apparently, he's got a small brain, too, to go with that small hands of his. So, I don't know how stupid you can be to try to jump, unless it's his fucking crew chief. His crew chief's probably the dumber than he is, because he's probably the one that made the call to try to fucking, pit now, you dumbass, what are you doing? So, yeah, that race would have been... That race would have went green, I think, from there on out, and that race would have been Harvick's. So, yeah, Tyler Reddick is probably, and unless somebody accepts the challenge, I think he's going to be this year's biggest bonehead since I started doing this bonehead shit. I kind of like Tyler Reddick. I hope this motherfucker gets wrecked out here
Bonehead awards.
for every damn week from here on out.
Oh, wow.
I hope the motherfucker gets penalized 100 points for something, caught cheating, and then I hope he wrecks every fucking week. I just hope that happens. I don't think I have any other boneheads.
There's one.
You might have a hack. Is there a hack?
Everybody wants Bowman to be a bonehead, but I'm going to give Bowman some rope here. And what he does with it, I don't know.
Don't give him a tree. Jeez.
Him and Suarez do have a history, so I could kind of see where he's coming from. Would I do it if I was in his shoes? No. I'm like Jeff Burton. The second block, you're asking for it.
Ridiculous, he said.
Suarez is a dumbass. This is the biggest dumbass as anybody else out there on that racetrack. So he took himself out. He took out Burton in the process. I think Bowman finished the race. So
no, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, he missed the clock. Yeah, I don't really. And I may not care about Bowman simply because it was right after the Harvick incident. So I was still fucking seething. So my other bonehead honorable mention is Kyle Petty.
Oh,
that motherfucker needs to know when to shut his trap, because every motherfucking week, I don't care if it's a slow week, he's got something bad to say about a driver. I'm sorry. That's all that comes out of that motherfucker's mouth. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. He. I like to take his fucking thin-haired ponytail and just twirl it like a chicken. Like you do, like the old women did back in the day when they cooked the chicken and you wring its fucking neck. That's what Kyle Petty needs with that fucking. I bet it would come detached pretty fucking quick. So kudos. I don't stick up for Bubba a lot because I do think Bubba kind of is a cry bag sometimes, and he kind of went there again this weekend. But kudos to Bubba for actually calling Kyle Petty out on that shit, because I would have to. Matter of fact, I probably would have went to Kyle Petty and picked him up by his fucking ponytail. So yeah, he is an honorable bonehead, considering he ain't been in the car in 15 damn years, and probably wouldn't have been one if it weren't for his fucking last name. So those are my boneheads.
Okay. Yeah.
I think there's a bonehead you're missing.
Did we discuss it?
Oh no, we haven't discussed it.
Who are we talking about?
From our previous CFRL race at Talladega.
Oh yeah, I was going to call that, but that's just mean. I mean, at this point, you're just okay. Spencer needs to learn to start paying attention to strategy. I won't call him a bonehead, but he ain't too smart either. So there's that.
Yeah.
So
I
gave him a hint. I gave him a couple hints during that race after he didn't pit for fuel.
The entire field gave him a hint. Everybody else
said it
yeah,
twice.
when everybody else pitted,
I would have.
he should have said
He said it myself twice.
Yeah.
He could have still saved his race. He could have literally dropped to the back and saved gas, and he didn't. So, hey, but whatever. It's a shame.
I don't care. Don't really care anyway.
Doesn't matter anyway, I guess.
I
We
love you,
got Matt
Spencer.
here this week, so we're just gonna roll straight from boneheads. We're gonna roll right into
Two dickheads?
dudes. No dickheads. I gotta get the music. I don't even remember what it is anymore. It's this one, right? This one?
Watch it be popping.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. We got it. Maddie, hit me. Who are your two dudes for Darlington?
All right. My first dude's going to be Kyle Larson. He led 55 laps this race, and they just happened to be the last 55. So that's the perfect time to lead. And my second dude, I'm going to give credit here to Ryan Blaney. It's a track my guy, a track that he's not very good at. He was able to get a top 10, and he only entered the playoffs ahead by 3 points, and that lead is extended to 16. Now, he's not the best at Kansas, and at Bristol, he's either really good or really bad. So these next two races will be determining. And I actually have two honorable mentions from outside the sport of NASCAR.
Matt's four dudes.
So
Holy shit.
my first honorable mention here is Max Verstappen. And this is kind of like weird as to like why now, but he just set the record for 10 straight victories. And when you're doing something that Sebastian Vettel didn't do, and then literally you had Lewis Hamilton dominating for multiple years, and you're doing stuff that he hasn't even done, that's definitely saying something.
Yeah.
And then my second honorable mention is going to be the sport of college football, where one coach, Deion Primetime Sanders, got his first victory at Colorado. And they were able to upset number 18, I think they were at the time, TCU.
Yeah.
But when you dive into the numbers, it's even more wacky. Like, they were 1-11 last year, so you figured they were going to improve with Coach Prime there. but they have nearly 90 new players on a college roster, and 58 of them are transfers, which is absolutely wild. And they were able to win by 3. But yeah, we have a 4-dude segment. So that's all.
We're dipping
like
into
4
other
dudes.
sports here. Holy mackerel. We had a little college football talk there, Maddie. Was pretty crazy to see Deion Sanders win. I couldn't see it. We don't have ESPN right now on Spectrum. So,
Don't sound like you're going to get it anytime soon either.
No,
Yeah, that's
it
something
doesn't.
that's going
Because
to drive people
Disney is
bonkers
telling
here.
everybody to go to Hulu, and Charter is telling everybody to go to Fubo TV. So it don't look like Disney's coming back. I think it was planned.
I think that if they're not coming back, that's a huge loss for Spectrum. I mean, I think that my family would probably think about switching at that point. There's so much content on it. I couldn't watch F1 if I don't. So.
I mean, but you do know Disney's probably want outrageous money.
That's a good
And
point. Yeah.
according to the Charter, they're actually wanting y'all to take channels and pay for the channels with no choice to be grouped up with the rest of them. So that's what Charter is trying to keep from doing, because that shit gets passed on to the consumer.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right.
And to be honest, Disney left YouTube TV last year, so they do it quite often.
How long?
It was about maybe a month or 2.
Wait, are they
Without-
still not on YouTube TV?
No, they're on
YouTube
it, but
TV.
they did the
Okay.
same thing.
Because I'm thinking
They
about
did the
switching
same
to TV. I'm on Comcast right now.
And let's
I'm
be
looking
honest,
forward to it.
if Disney's saying go to Hulu, because they own it, Hulu also has live TV. So
Live sports.
Yeah.
live sports and
They love that
so
commercial. They absolutely love that
They
one.
do. It's a great commercial.
Is Baker Mayfield still the spokesperson?
I hope
I
not.
think it's Damian Lillard now.
Yeah, it's Dame.
Just Damian
Yep.
Lillard. Yeah.
Anything we want to talk about from Darlington? Let's Sal. What are your thoughts on the race? I thought it was a good race. I think Dirty Air was a
It's
little
there.
alarming during the race, but I enjoyed it throughout. I thought. What do you think, Sal?
I mean, it's what they. As much as people complain about the playoffs, and I mean, I'll agree it's not the correct way, at least not in motorsports, to crown a champion. It's for whatever reason, random ass track, Darlington has given NASCAR exactly what they wanted the playoffs to do. It's your first race, first round, and you have these drivers either making mistakes or getting caught in other people's mistakes, which also kind of leads to their big hype. When Rick Allen loves this one, where unlike other sports, you still have all the other teams still competing for race wins. And I mean, it's definitely made this race more, I don't know. I don't want to say watchable, because I mean, as a crown jewel, it is watchable. Like
Watchable,
no
yeah.
matter, yeah.
And I have an opinion on that too.
But it was definitely a good race. Dirty Air did kind of get annoying at some points, because even with new tires, I know Harvick did end up making his way up there, but a good amount of laps had to go on before the tire advantage actually kicked in.
Yeah, and it's easy to complain about Dirty Air, and I think it was a problem. Darlington is a hard track to pass and always has been. But it just seemed like there was
And it's no longer a one groove racetrack either.
No, it's
They were
not.
talking
you
about
think-
that Sunday.
Oh yeah, Bradley's had a question. He loves your old background.
I'll be back in it next week.
Next week, okay. Old background Sal back next week, by request from the president. Tegan, you have a thought?
So we talked about the Dirty Air, and it's a twofold. Sal mentioned the race being watchable. It's watchable because tires matter. All your races matter that are watchable is because tires give up 3-4 seconds after like 5 or 10 laps. And on the flip side of this, these drivers didn't run no more than like 40 laps when they could do like 60, 65.
Yeah.
They didn't
the
get
fuel is
time
70 to
for
75. The
yeah,
fuel
they didn't
was
get time
70 to
for the
75.
tires
Yeah.
to actually show what people can do on very, very old tires. I mean, they literally stopped twice in the first stage, and would have done it again in the second stage if we didn't have that late yellow for the lights.
Do
So
you think that maybe, like, let's say we remove stage cautions at a track like Darlington? Do you think that changes things up?
I don't think so. I don't
Right,
think they were
'cause the
doing it
stage
because they had a
points are
stage
still
break.
given out at the
Yeah.
same, right?
They were doing it just because I think with this car and this tire, it's a cliff. You get to a certain point, and there is no gradual drop off. It's like, boom, you're
Right.
sliding. You can't drive it. So there is a middle ground that needs to be found with this tire. I do like tire wear, but if we're getting to the point where we can't run more than 30, 40 laps without hitting a cliff, then we need to do something. Either these crew chiefs are setting these cars up outrageous for that, but on the flip side, we are getting better racing out of it. So maybe we need to do this every week.
Yeah.
I mean, Richmond is run that way now. And this is the first time I've seen Darlington run where they only ran like 30, 40 laps on a set of tires.
And Richmond, I think, has been one of the more underrated next-gen tracks.
I think Darlington is too, to be honest.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about. I guess the spring race at Darlington kind of got saved by the Chastain antics on late restarts. But yeah, I think that Darlington and Richmond, two old-fashioned tracks that produce tire wear, have gone well with the next-gen car.
Which it bodes well for Rockingham. I know you're a Rockingham dick sucker, so
who, me?
Back me up here, Mike. Yes, you Mike. Yes,
I'm so excited. I
so if they bring it back for the All-Star race,
Who did
they don't need to pay
say?
it. They need to just bring it back to Cup and make it a point race.
Who did we say, Mike, that just studies Rockingham?
Wallace Allen or something.
Yeah.
We were making fun of like one random like garbage truck driver just like is on Rockingham.
Hey, don't do that. You'll get your ass handed to you on Twitter.
I'm sorry.
What happened?
He deserved it.
Don't make us start calling you dare you.
He deserved it. I mean, he's toxic.
I mean, I've been sending you shit screenshots here the last couple of weeks. Shit he's been fucking saying about Bowman and Chase Elliott fans.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's kind of asking for it. I mean, I think
you're talking about Black Flags
he's a
Minor.
lot fucking hitter or a lot. What's the word? He goes
just
for the
like
light.
a troll to get view counts. He wants to see that number
clicks.
up.
Yeah.
Doesn't he get paid by like Twitter now or something like that?
I mean, the thing is though, that's why I muted him. I don't want to.
Him and Elon probably a lot.
Yeah. I just think that if you're trying to claim yourself to be a NASCAR media member, to go after like large fan bases is just not like a great strategy. I don't think.
Not when one of them Chase Elliott.
Yeah, if you're a guy that has a platform that produces NASCAR content, to just go after the largest fan base in the sport doesn't really seem to make sense.
I mean, obviously, I don't have a large media platform, but I will actively go after the fucking Chase Elliott fan base.
Yeah, but he's got
doozies out there.
the hot pass and
He
the
gets
credentials.
Media credentials.
Yeah. Which I ain't seen him at the racetrack since 2020, 21. So who the fuck knows what he's got anymore? Just because he says he does doesn't mean
I
he
think
does.
I've seen that like he goes, but he hasn't gone media credential. Like it's when he goes in the stands. Yeah.
Yeah. So not going to give him any more attention. Russell, what are your thoughts on the race? Did you enjoy?
Yeah. I mean, the dirty air was bad, but it's kind of hard to talk about Darlington and not have dirty air be a problem. It's a 2-lane fucking racetrack.
Barely two lanes.
Barely. It's like a lane and a half.
Lane and a half, yeah.
And I mean, the racing surface there is just, it's so narrow that it's going to be hard to make a pass there anyways. And especially with how the exit of turn 2 is, it's just, you can't really go too wide through there. But I mean, I slept from the beginning of stage 2 all the way until about 30 laps to go. And I tell you what, NASCAR naps are just about the fucking greatest thing ever. So
I don't know.
it was a pretty good nap.
If I nap during one, I'm usually always waking up and checking on something to see what the running is. I have to be really fucking tired.
I was out for 2
nap during a
hours. I was out for 2 hours.
Were you out during the light? Were you out during the light fiasco?
That's probably when he woke up.
I missed the light fiasco.
The lights
when they went out in like turn 2 or some shit like that, or 3
and 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dale said, "We ain't got no lights out here. Hard to see."
I like when they came back from commercial or something, and he was like, "I was only partially kidding about throwing a caution, but I guess NASCAR felt they needed to."
Yeah, I said it to you guys. They did not expect to have Kyle Petty and Dale Jarrett in the booth with them for that long. It was like a 2-hour stage 2. Which I bet Rick and they had Jeff Burton come in.
They probably went out to eat real quick.
Yeah.
I think Steve came in at random too, didn't he? Like for like a pit strategy call?
Maybe. And then Jeff did like the interview with Denny Hamlin. So yeah, good broadcast though. NBC I think did a good job. They really have been, I'd say, hitting all year. Really not many misses, and I think Fox had a bad year, like a really bad year. So just in terms,
I think they were starting to turn it around there at the end though.
Yeah, it was getting better.
They got a little better.
The booth is going to be interesting to me because I think Clint Boyer, he doesn't really do it for me. Not really crazy about the way he.
I said we got to give it another year, see what he does with Harvick,
and give him like a full-time partner.
And I think Mike Joy is also. I think he's got another year left, and I think he's done. I think he has to be.
I think we see Harvick taking over the Fox booth pretty
I don't think he does play-by-play.
It depends on who they can and cannot get. If they can't get somebody that's fucking halfway decent, like Alan Bestwick, if it ain't nobody but Alan Bestwick, just give it to Kevin Harvick.
I swear, we are on the Alan Bestwick train every fucking week.
We are Alan Bestwick.
I want to see Alan Bestwick back in NASCAR, and I want to see him on TV.
This is an Alan Bestwick program.
And I think he's a fitting person to follow Mike Joy.
Absolutely.
They're both one of the best. They both are like the OG when NASCAR started. Yeah, MRN, when NASCAR went with the first TV package. They were basically the both lead announcers on the respective brands. So I think it would be fitting to see Alan Bestwick take over for Mike Joy. I think we need to start a petition and actually make it happen. Bring it to everybody's fucking attention. When Mike Joy retires, it needs to be Alan Bestwick.
I wouldn't mind if they brought in MRN. There's a couple guys in MRN. I think Jeff Striegel is pretty good. He's one of like the.
Well, we do enough road courses; they can rotate that shit out.
I like Mike Bagley also. I think he does a really good job at the radio style broadcast. I think he could probably be a good lead commentator. He's really good. And that's how you see a lot of the guys come in. Mike Joy, MRN. Adam Alexander was MRN, who probably, I think, if Mike Joy retires tomorrow, would take that spot. Alan Bestwick was MRN. So you get a lot of guys from MRN that do quality work there in the NASCAR booth. So that would be a place to maybe look for Mike Joy's successor. Is there anything you want to talk about?
Jesus.
Holy Matt.
There was 22 minutes later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Matt made us hold like 10 seconds to start the stream on the sneeze. And he unleashes it at the 22:40 mark on the program. Matt, we're going to do because we were all here last week, we're going to do your playoff bracket. I know we are a week in, and you have a little more information about who might get eliminated.
Yeah, I would change one of mine.
Yeah.
But
I have the I did the playoff grid challenge thing for NASCAR, so I'll just log into that and see who did it. I also want to just mention at Darlington, just a little bit. Tyler Reddick was second, so that was good to see from my personal perspective of picking him. But Chris Buescher was third, and Brad Kay was sixth. And I think it's
really
time
strong.
I think it's time to to push really a title favorite, I would say. And it kind of sounds wacky.
Don't do it,
but
Matt.
I like this. Do it, Matt.
Do
it sounds wacky, but it's not even like
it's not going to happen. They're not even going to make the Final Four.
If it was anybody else in NASCAR who had at least finished in the top 3 in 4 out of the last 6 races, and 3 of those were wins, I feel like we'd be all on the bandwagon to say it. But I think it's because it's RFK, and it's not like Hendrick, Joe Gibbs, Team Penske. It's not some major brand. That I feel like that's why people aren't giving it kind of the respect it deserves. But he's literally 4 out of the last 6 races either won or came in the top 3, and 5 out of the last 6 he's either won or came in the top 7. Like, that's a long history of success here. And
I like that, Matt.
And
like
Brad Kay's also been good. Like, I'm not going to change my championship pick, but I definitely feel like you should have Chris Buescher if he in that championship 4. If not, he's going to end up finishing like 5th. But I think, like I said, if he was part of like Joe Gibbs, Hendrick, Team Penske, if it was either him on those teams or any one of those drivers winning 4 out of their past 6 races, I feel like everyone would be like, oh man, this guy's undoubtedly the championship favorite. But because it comes from a 2-car team and it's RFK, who hasn't been good like since Brad, they were good last year, but before then they hadn't
I wouldn't say they were good last year.
They weren't good last year.
They were not good last year.
They were getting better towards the end. Brad was running top
17
10
was.
a lot
Yeah,
towards the
but
end.
even that, like, they weren't
Bristol.
good last year, and it had been a little bit before they were actually good. Like, I feel like that's why people aren't taking it seriously. But I think it's time to drink the Chris Buescher Kool-Aid, if you want to call it that.
I don't personally agree. I didn't have him in my final four, but I do like where you're coming from. I think that there is a conversation that can be had. Like, hey, he is consistent. He's been consistent all year, and it seems like they're getting even better as we go. I mean, that third place run, I think he was faster than both the 45 and the 5 at the end of the race. I think him and the 24 were two of the fastest cars on the track. So I like where you're coming from, Matt. I don't agree, but I do like what you're saying. And I think that him and Brad could make a deep playoff run. And, I think it'll surprise some, but I don't know if it really should at this point. They're giving us proof that they're there, that they're for real. So let's do your playoff grid here, Maddie. I'm going to pull up the screen here. Okay, here we go. So, actually, we're going to move everybody up to the top. So
Whoa. I get to do it this way. Yeehaw. All right.
You'll
This is
just
gonna be
tell
spicy.
me.
What's Mike watching down there?
It's just an ad. We're not going to give Dodge Ram free coverage.
Oh, I'll get tagged.
We don't support Dodge Ram.
Not unless they support NASCAR.
Yeah.
That's quite the championship 4 we got there.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
16 drivers. That'd be wild. Maddie, who do you have the first 4 out?
Who did I have? Let me go back to my playoff grid challenge thing. I had Bubba, Stenhouse, McDowell, and Ross Chastain.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Man, why is everybody got Stenhouse out in the first round? I just don't get
I don't
it.
either.
I don't.
I think that he did well at Kansas. He was leading last year until he had a blown tire. I think ran like 12th or there earlier this year. And then Bristol's one of his best tracks. Granted, he probably will have to qualify well or have good pit strategy to have a chance in that one. But
I feel like
yeah.
for me on why I'm picking Stenhouse, like, yes, he's only 4 points back, but it's the amount of but it's the quality of the drivers ahead of them that are in. Like you've got
this
Joey
12 is
there, and
very
you've also
elite
got
that we
Chris-
have up there. Yeah.
and you've got Christopher Bell as well, and those are 2 of your bottom guys. And then like you have Chastain, Blaney, Brad Kay. Like it's just just out of those quality of drivers, I just think he's whacks what those guys have. Nothing against Ricky.
No, I can see that. I have Ricky in the round of 12, but I do get what you're saying. I could easily see him get eliminated here. Matt, who will be your next 4 out?
Yeah, this is a tough group of drivers here.
All the best.
Holy mackerel. I'm gonna go with Harvick, although I don't want to say it, and I don't want to see it.
Going ahead for next week.
Yeah, probably. That's fine. I'm gonna go with.
He wins,
Bell.
especially.
I'm gonna go with Christopher Bell. Yeah, if he wins, this is not gonna age well.
No.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Joey,
Oh no, Matt's boy out.
and I'm gonna go with Kyle Busch.
Okay. So that's your final 8. Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Martin Truex Jr., William Byron, Ryan Blaney, and Chris Buescher. Talk me through. You eliminated 4 massive names. All of them previous final
and
4.
they're still. I feel like
contenders.
anyone. Yeah. It's just so tough. Like a lot of it wants. I do like Blaney, and I truly think that if he survives this round, he's got a really good shot because this round features some of his worst tracks. So that's why I didn't pick him. The whole Chris Buescher thing, that would be really bad if I just said for him to get eliminated and I just thought he was a championship 4 driver.
Yeah.
I'll give Brad the benefit of the doubt here as well. Hamlin, I could definitely see him as a Final 4 driver. Larson did just win, so that's
Talk me through why you don't like the 4. Why you took out Kyle Busch, 2-time champion, Joey Logano, 2-time champion, Harvick 2014 champion, and Christopher Bell Final Four guy last year.
I just feel like these 4 guys have been struggling kind of as of late. And with them having just a little points cushion that they have right now, like, I don't think they'll get eliminated in this round. And I don't know if there's going to be like any type of recovery. Like, Team Penske overall has been subpar, I feel like, for the majority of this year. And like I said, I would honestly feel more confident in Blaney than Logano next round's tracks, just because they're some of Blaney's best. Kyle Busch, I mean, I feel like this year he's really good or he's
hit or miss.
bad.
Yeah.
There's kind of like there's no in between, which isn't very good for the playoffs.
Right.
But Harvick, Harvick, it's just, I feel like a lot of it's just been bad luck this year. Like, he's been running so good and he just hasn't gotten the finishes that I feel like he's deserved. And if you have 2 of those in a row, you're kind of in a must-win situation. Or even if you just have one at the wrong time.
Could have 2 or 3 wins by now.
Yeah. And then Christopher Bell, I just really haven't seen much lately. I think he's third. Yeah, he's probably the 3rd best, I would say, on JGR right now. Like, Truex is really clicking, and Hamlin, though, the interesting thing with him is he always has something going wrong on pit road. And it's impeccable that he's 90% of the time able to make up for it and at least finish well in the races.
Yeah.
But I think like that walk of good but also bad walk is going to end. Like, maybe he's not going to be able to recover during one of these bad pit stops, or maybe like, hey, the pit crew doesn't screw it over for him and he actually rips off a win.
Right. So, Matt, next 4 out, this will be the round of 8. Who do you have out in this round?
Well, I'm gonna go Brad.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Oh man, I'm gonna go Blaney. As much as I don't want to see it happen.
Okay.
Come on, keep the 4 train going.
I don't think he will.
I'm gonna keep out. I'm gonna keep out. I'm gonna keep. Yeah. This is. I don't know. I either want Larson or Byron out, but I don't know which one I want. Which
For me, if Larson makes it to the round of 8, I think he's good.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, Homestead, 2 of his absolute best tracks.
Yeah. Which kind of is crazy. I'm going to take out Byron.
Okay.
And then for this, I'm going to take out Denny.
Denny Hamlin. Okay. It's an interesting final format. I like it, though. Talk me through why. I understand. I kind of get the Brad and the Blaney one. Byron, a lot of people's championship favorite, and Denny Hamlin. Why do you have those 2 out?
So with Byron, I don't know. I kind of, like I said, I had to choose him or Larson, and it just seems like Byron starts off the year so good. In the middle of the year, he really, really cools off, and then towards the end of the year, he's good. And then in the playoffs, it just seems like over the past few years, he's been either really hit or really miss. Right. And like I said, I don't think that's a strong strategy to be able to continue. And then with what I just said about Denny, I feel like it's going to be too much for him to make up. Like, his pit crew is going to screw him over one too many times. And he's just eventually not going to be able to recover from it. And it's going to end up costing him.
Okay. Final 4. I think we know your championship pick. It's Tyler Reddick, right?
That is who I'm going to say, yeah.
Okay. Any order you want here for the next 3?
I mean, you could keep it at that. That seems like it would be. Maybe you would flip-flop Truex and Larson.
Right,
but
yeah.
That's all personal preference thing. But I feel like Reddick's been really good as of late. The same can be said for all 4, honestly. But like I said, I feel like Buscher's a sneaky pick right now. That's welcome to the city of Troy, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, that's why I threw those thumbs up.
You'll probably hear those through my speakers in a little bit here.
Yeah, there's a guy shouting outside moments ago. Yeah, it's a great place.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Truex has probably been the most consistent driver all year. So I don't see any reason for that to change. Like I said, Reddick's been good lately. Larson did just win. I'm big in the whole playoff momentum thing. That might be one of the more overrated drivers in NASCAR.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Take away his media credentials.
Owners championship. Watch out.
And then for Busher, like I said, 4 out of the last 6 races, he's either came in first or third, and then 5 out of the last 6, he's came top 7. So,
yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Is there anything else we'd like to cover from Darlington? Bell had some pit issues that kind of hindered him, and now he's below the color.
His not so much pit as it was himself.
Was it himself, or was
he
it?
hit the wall? Well, he did do that, but he recovered pretty nicely from that. Then he smacked the wall pretty good. Yeah. And then they didn't fix it when they should have.
I'm such a curse to Christopher Bell whenever I pick him, because this is the second time I've picked him this year. Both times he qualified on the pole. And then both of those times, he fucked his goddamn car up and ran like shit the rest of the goddamn race. I am an absolute curse to Christopher Bell.
Take Reddick next week. Or this week.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick, actually. So here's where we're at. Bubba's -1. Harvick is -2. Stenhouse is -4. And McDowell is -19. Are we kind of writing off Michael McDowell already right now, the 19-point deficit?
I think so. I think they put a lot of their shit into road courses, and it's showing.
I didn't realize
I think Harvick put a lot of his stuff into this track, and it showed this week. So
yeah.
So Stenhouse is only, 4 back?
4 back for Ricky, yep.
I mean, that's just going to take a bad... Like, if Christopher Bell, Joey, or Ross have a... Maybe not Ross. Ross might be
mediocre.
If Joey or Christopher Bell have, if Christopher Bell, if he has another fuck up week, he could be in trouble.
Yeah,
right.
I will say.
So where are you comfortable at?
I think maybe
27.
Ross. I think maybe Ross and Blaney might be good.
I'd say Truex up. I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I would probably say Truex. You might be able to include Kyle Busch in there, but my thing with Ross is Ross has been bad lately. So he's been in that 17th to 20th area, I feel like.
Did maybe show 15th, improvement 20th. This week, though. I think it helped with the strategy got split at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my whole thing with McDowell is he wasn't good at Kansas earlier this year. He started 23rd and finished 26th. So
that's not a track that seems like it's good for front row. Yeah. High speed is not really there.
So he's almost in a must-win situation, especially with the 19 points back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably say to be safe, Truex. But I would understand if people said they felt like Busch is safe. Although at Bristol, with it being the last race here in this stage, right? That's the last
round,
round of 16. That's wacky. We've seen some wacky shenanigans there, as far as people losing a bunch of points. I remember a few years ago, Blaney, I want to say it was Bristol, literally started next to Truex. Went all the way back in the field in stage 1, came all the way back up, went all the way back, came all the way back up again. It was some wild merry-go-round.
I think if you go to the back on this one, you better hope for some miracles.
Yeah. I think with the next gen car, you're going to have better trouble. Yeah.
I don't think that was with the next gen car. I feel like it was the last year with the
probably change the tires.
What happened? Yeah.
Make them wear out. Make them pit every 40 laps again. That seems to be the best scenario. Yeah, that seems to be the answer for these tires.
Anything else you want to talk about with this playoff grid here? What is your plan if you're Logano here? What do you do if you're Logano?
I think if you're anybody that's Kyle Busch down, or not even Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain maybe, it's stage points. Your stages is where it's at. You've got to get the stage points.
Yeah, I feel like for a lot of these guys, they're going to want to
look at Denny. He's plus 27. He won both stages. That's 20 points right there for that 27. He's up. If he won for those stages, he'd only be 7 up.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that. Anything else in this playoff grid here?
Logano was 6th starting and finished 6th, and he actually gained 41 points here at Kansas.
So we got reasonable stage points. Yeah, let's look at the Kansas results
Yeah.
from earlier this year.
It was his fourth most points this season. So
Where's it at? Did I pass it? There it is.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck did it just do?
Go back up. Go back up. Up. Should be right there. I thought
Wasn't.
maybe you had to expand it or something.
I'm not sure.
Not
why
working?
it's-
Yeah, the link's
Yeah.
just not working.
Try race recap. Maybe we'll get something better there.
Nope.
Do any of these work?
No.
No.
That one does. Oh, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to like cycle back. Maybe.
That's gonna take a little bit.
Yeah, it is. We're gonna get there eventually, guys. And while we're going in there, enjoy the winner of every race this season. We're close here.
Ryan Blaney.
All right.
Woohoo.
So, Hamlin, Larson 1-2. Byron a solid third. Bubba P4 started kind of deep in the field. P17. Chastain ran fifth. This is when Trackhouse was at their best, though. Joe Logano sixth. Of course it is. Chase Elliott seventh.
That is the
Uh,
most fitting thing in the world.
He was almost going to finish there this week. Unfortunately, got passed by Brad late to finish eighth. Truex there, Reddick, Austin Dillon with a nice little top 10. Harvick 11th. Hey, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. spread that propaganda. He's 12th. Blaney ran 16th. Not great. Chris Buescher 17th. Keselowski 19th. Seeming like maybe the Fords really
We're
weren't
not good at
great
Kansas.
here. The
Yeah.
only one that really did anything was Joey Logano. He's the only one in the top 10. So yeah, we'll go into pod picks now. We're just switching whatever.
One thing
screen
that
we're
did look like it was dominated by
Chevys and
predominantly
Toyotas.
two teams, either JGR or
slash
Hendrick.
2311.
Yeah, and then you also had Hendrick mixed in there as well. So predominantly two teams.
Let's go to the pod picks here.
The PPs. No, I'm just
The
kidding.
PPs, yes.
We can't call
Oh,
Tegan with a big win to get to 6
I'd
points.
trade it in for a Harvick win.
Really? You would trade those 2 pod picks points?
Yes.
Triple Ps? Hey, it's a pretty tight battle here. Bradley at 8, and then we got a logjam at 6 with Maddie, Tegan, and myself. And then we got another trio at 4 with Wessel, Sal, and JB. I don't have JB's picks, so we're going to skip over him. We'll get his during the week. But going first, would it be either
Me.
Bell, Hamlin, or it's not you. You're not going first. You won. Let's see here. It will be the person that picked Denny Hamlin, who dominated the race. So that will be
That's-
Sal.
Sal.
That's kind of weird.
Sally, who are we going with here?
Bubba Wallace.
Okay, took my pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Booba.
Wallace off the board. Next up will be the person that picked Christopher Bell, Wessel. What do we have?
Let's hope this goddamn pit crew doesn't fuck him. I'm gonna go for the 45
Okay.
to
I hope they
go
All
fuck him
right.
big.
another one
I hope they
here.
fuck him hard.
Both 2311 cards off the board already. Next up will be Bradley, who picked Kevin Harvick. And he's going to pick Denny Hamlin.
And win another one of mine.
This is gonna be a stack.
My
race.
top 3 picks.
It sounds like
are
a
going-
throwaway race to me.
I don't know if you really can throw away at this point in the season, though, especially when you have another use of
That's true,
everybody. So
yeah.
you kind of have to be all gas the
You gotta
whole
be
time.
aggressive.
Next up, JB. We don't have his pick, so I'm just gonna skip over him. We'll get his during the week. So next up will be me. I don't really know who I'm gonna pick. I kind of was hoping that one of those three would have came down to me. I'm just gonna hope that they found something here, and I'm gonna hope that he's better. And he has been
He's
better
taking
on the
Chase, aren't
higher
you?
downforce package.
You're taking Chase,
And
aren't you?
his team has. I'm gonna pick Ross Chastain. Somewhere in between a throwaway and a legitimate pick. Don't want to waste somebody big here, but I think Ross Chastain could throw something in there. Showed signs of improvement this week. His whole team has been better on those 1.5-mile tracks. Seemed like they've struggled on the new package tracks with the worse, like the lower spoiler and stuff. So yeah, and we're gonna go to Tegan last. Who do you have here, Tegan? Hello.
I'm here.
Are you
I'm
gonna pick
picking
somebody?
between two Toyotas.
That's the theme here, except me.
I'm gonna go with Ty Gibbs.
Oh, okay. Using your second use on a non-playoff driver. Interesting. Ty Gibbs off the board. And Maddie, who are you going to go with here?
You said we get one additional use now. That's
One additional use.
playoffs,
Yep.
right?
Can't use the guy. If you
Like
didn't use
everybody
him regular
resets.
season- But yeah, you have one more use of every driver now, so it cancels out. If you didn't use them, you don't get two. Right.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna go with Byron.
William Byron. Okay. Those are the picks. We'll have JB's in. You guys will see next week who he ends up going with. So I agree with you guys. Seems like it'll be a Toyota win.
Unless we're gonna find out if Ford's been sandbagging, or they've been sitting on some shit the last couple of weeks.
Well, they were better at Michigan. Chris Buescher was good.
They were really good at Darlington, but I think the tracks with the tire wear they're really good at anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know if I'd be so sold on Toyota because HMS was really good here in the early part of the season. So if it's not Byron or Larson, I
But
would
if
say
you're-
yes, I think it's a Toyota.
If you're Larson, you're locked into the next round. How do you approach this race?
I
For a
think
win.
you approach it just
Playoff
yeah,
point.
Win,
I was just
yeah.
gonna say go
That's a
for
good
the
point.
win.
Page
Like,
win.
yeah, like
because if you win a race in the round of 8 and make the final 4, you can kind of take your foot off the gas and focus on Phoenix. But if you're Larson, don't have too many playoff points. Didn't have a great regular season points finish. Only 3 wins now on the year, which is good considering how much everybody else has. But what is it? He has 3, right? He's
Yeah,
Sure,
I think so.
yeah.
Martinsville, one other, and then I don't remember where he
So how
is.
many playoff points will he be taking into the round of 12? Like 20?
I can look right now. Larson he's listed to have 22 playoff points, which ranks him 3rd in the Cup Series. But still, oh my God, there's a Kubota ad that just put dirt all over my screen. I can't read it. Chris Buescher's right there at 21. Kyle Busch right there at 19. So you can't really be comfortable with that totally. And then you have Bell there with 14, Chastain 11. So 22 is not – it's good, but it's not safe. And I think he'd feel a little more comfortable if he wins the race this weekend is at 27. So definitely foot on the gas for Larson. Always been a good track for him. Won there in 2021. Performed well. Matt is like lagging, so it looks like he's asleep. Never mind. Matt's awake. Hey, Matt.
It looks mean.
Matt
Yeah.
yeah, it is lagging. It's been lagging for me almost the whole entire episode. Like it goes in brief
It has
spurts
me
here.
for you.
Yeah, you like have an occasional little spike.
Freeze.
That's okay.
Oh, nice. It happens to me with everybody, so it's definitely me. That's nice.
So,
Oh, what do you do this?
yeah, you look good right now. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. Anything CFRL we want to talk about?
We were off this week, so no, we didn't talk about already.
Expect
Except for the midweek.
we're gonna do Cup Series schedule reveal with the award ceremony, right?
Yes, we're waiting on the real
That-
NASCAR schedule to come out to kind of.
And
Set the
that
tone
will
for ours.
be it's a standalone podcast episode. It won't be like the race recap one. It'll be
And we do know that a certain someone is going to be on this, right? We're going to actually if we have to find somebody in West Virginia to hog tie him
Bradley's gonna
in
be
front of a
on.
laptop.
Bradley's gonna
Yeah.
The debut of
announce it, Tegan. Announce
CFRL
it, Tegan.
president.
Announce
what
it
am I
in the
announcing?
Discord. Announce at Bradley Tomer Jr. will make his first podcast appearance on the schedule
Watch
review
him beat
award
me to it.
ceremony episode.
Let's
He's not-
go.
He hasn't agreed to this. He probably
BDJ.
won't.
Let's go.
BDJ, yes, sir. Oh shit! I didn't even realize his YouTube profile picture is his initials. It's got the middle initial, so it's not totally BDJ, but close enough. We
BJD.
start calling him.
Blowjob Domer. Let's go, Domer.
No, we're not doing that. We're not going to do that. Tegan's making the announcement now live in the Discord. It's huge, massive, biggest announcement in league history.
Playoff implications.
But I think that's about all we have for today, right, boys? Anything else you want to cover that we didn't talk about?
Don't
Any
think so.
silly season.
What do we learn on that?
They just announced like a little bit
Denny Hamlin.
before we went live.
Oh,
that
yes,
Harrison
that's actually
Denny
a big
Hamlin.
one.
Yeah, I forgot about Denny
Burton's
Hamlin.
back in the 21.
Burton's expected
Oh,
to
they
be
just
back in the
announced it?
21. Jordan Bianchi with the Jordan bomb. Bianchi
that's
That's
bomb,
another
whatever you wanna
candidate
call it.
taken from the 10 car.
I forgot about Denny Hamlin too, re-signing and
Huge Denny Hamlin.
2311 re-signing with Toyota.
Stays with Toyota.
Yeah.
That's big. I think that's a great move for Toyota and for Denny Hamlin. Best interest of everybody not to lose them and to keep Denny Hamlin in the fold. Top world-class driver. And seem like creating a world-class organization over there at 2311. So that's good to see that they'll be able to continue with that. Yeah, announced that this week. Harrison Burton back in the 21. So that makes the 10 the waters there murky if Eric Almirola decides to retire, if SHR keeps that charter, which I think is what's going to happen with that.
Because
Probably
apparently Priest is
Saints.
staying as well. So
Yeah, well, he's tough.
this dude's eyes are.
Every single
creepy.
NASCAR pit. What is Sal doing?
Big Ryan Priest guy right here, right?
He's tough.
No.
He just doesn't like Ryan Priest. But yeah, his eyes were crazy. Yeah, the 10 could be Zane Smith. I think that would be
We're
it.
leaning toward.
Who else is there?
Matt Benedetto.
God no.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not gonna go.
He's
there.
back in Cup, then he's good at this.
I think he's good enough to have a cup ride. But
Oh, Wessel's jumping on this bandwagon again.
No.
No,
He's
no.
a fan again.
no, look, Matt DiBenedetto I think is good enough to have a cup ride. But there's nothing really available for him. Like I don't know.
31.
I don't think he's good enough.
I think he is. I mean,
He's too much of a cry bag.
I think he did well in the 21. Did
there's a
well
lot
in
of cry bags in the
95.
goddamn Cup Series, and they got fucking top tier rides and shit.
Who are you talking about?
I mean, there's a lot.
Name a name.
Name a name. You know somebody who's kind of turned into a cry bag these last fucking couple years?
Kyle Petty.
That's a good
Just, oh, these next gen cars, these parts suck. Fuck it, I'm gonna go to the Fox booth. Your guy.
Yeah, no, my guy didn't cry bag. He just don't give a fuck and he got nothing left to prove.
I think we
Reason
should
why
end
he got
this.
penalized 100 points.
Oh
bitch.
no, this is getting ugly. Hit the music, save us.
Did he start?
I'm
Did he
about
start
to fire
whining
me a
because maybe
driver
he's
before
washed?
next season even starts.
Fucking
Dude, he's just about to
Let's
wrap
face
up
it, I
again
like
for
Denny Hamlin. I
CFRL.
like Kevin Harvick, but they're cry bags. They're fucking cry bags. Bubba Wallace, I like Bubba Wallace. He's a fucking cry bag.
Was Ron Blaney crying last week?
I love Ryan Blaney, but sometimes he's a cry bag. Everybody's
On that note,
cry bags.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Wessel went on a little rant there towards the end, pissed off his team owner. For
Wessel ain't gonna be on the pod
Might
next week.
Might get fired. Wessel and Tegan do live close to each other, so if Wessel is not like,
Yes, I forgot about that.
We know. But I don't.
I'm pretty sure I can find your ass without even having to have your address. Like Bradley and Mike, that's just dumb enough to give it to me. I can find yours, bitch. You're close enough. I can look you up.
Albany County, where you at, bitch?
That's in county, dude. Oh, Wessel.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you guys next week.
This bitch is gonna be running to Mexico with